Test, test. Am I here? Gotta wait to see. It's a bit of a delay. You can hear the... There we go. I got a bit of a delay, so I'm waiting to see if the audio's coming through. Test, test. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. How y'all doing? It's been a while. Who's all out there? Just me. Oh, I was hoping to have a conversation with some subscribers today. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. I thought we'd talk a little bit. Thought it'd be interesting. I'm tired, very, very tired. I woke up 4 o'clock this morning, and so I'm probably not in the best shape to be doing a live stream. However, I'm going to try. Let me turn this thing off. Probably getting some noise from that. Oh, somebody's out there. Somebody's out there. Good. I'm not alone anymore. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so I was saying I got up 4 o'clock. I'm a little tired, but I'm gonna do this because it's New Year's Eve, man. 30 minutes away, a little less than 30 minutes away from New Year's Day over here in Japan. It is right now 11:35 in the evening. 25 minutes to go, and it'll be New Year's. So I thought we'd talk about, I don't know, what was the highlights of this last year we just had, or this year we had, and anybody have any predictions for next year, and also any resolutions of your own. I have some resolutions, and I'll go over that in a little while. I got some stuff I want to talk about. I also have a video. I do have a video of a guy, a comedian, and he's kind of funny. He's pretty funny sometimes, and he does his own live streams. He's probably one of the most banned comedians out there. I don't even dare say his name on this channel, on this place, this platform, but he's banned almost everywhere. Anyways, recently he did a stream where he read a letter from a guy, and this comedian he was raised Catholic in the Catholic Church, but he's not Catholic anymore, and he has some very strong feelings about Catholicism. And I thought it was pretty funny, pretty interesting. He goes strong. I don't know if I'm going to play the video. He's very vulgar, strong language, and I'm not really all about that. And also, YouTube's not really all about that either. And also, his views will probably really upset some Catholics out there, because he's very opinionated about it. Where he grew up, where he went to his Catholic church in his part of the area of New York, I guess it was famous for some really bad scandals dealing with some priests, if you know what I mean. And he that was around the time he was going, and so nothing happened to him, he says, but he knew people, and it was a big deal. And the worst part was, I guess, the priests that were involved in the scandal, nothing ever happened to them. The church covered it up, and it really upset him. So that's why he's got some very strong opinions about the church. And I don't know, I thought it's kind of funny. He goes, and he's going off on this guy who wrote him a letter who has to be a Catholic, and it was just a funny little. Well, it's not very little. It's not very short. It goes like 45 minutes, but it's interesting. I don't know if I'll play it. If we have time. I'm pretty tired. I probably won't end up playing it, but I have all kinds of stuff. I'm just got everything. I've got tons of stuff here ready to go. If you're interested, can you hear me okay? Whoever's out there, can you tell me? Can you hear me okay? Am I coming through okay? Let me know. Can you see me okay? The video seems okay. I'm checking my video quality. Seems okay. I have a new rig. I have a new setup, if you guys can tell. I'm not using my computer's camera. I'm actually using my iPhone 13 with the new OS. You can link right to OBS and get a better picture. I'm sorry. I ate some dinner and it's not sitting well with me. But you can with this new OS, you can wirelessly link right to the OBS. So I'm wirelessly HD camera, much better camera on the phone than on this computer. And I'm also using a new mic. This is my son's streaming mic, HyperX. I don't even know what it is, but he got himself a mic for when he does his gaming, and he's letting me borrow it. So hopefully the audio is coming out really good too. Let's see. Well, let's start off with the other day after Christmas. I went for a drive, and I took some pics. Let's see. Pop one up. There's the first pic, and that's a pic of Tokyo from a tower that I know of in what they call Funaburi City. It's in Tokyo, Funaburi area of Tokyo. That's Edogawa right there in front of. It's like separating parts of Tokyo. So there's Edogawa, and on the other side of Edogawa is all the main areas of Tokyo. And there's Fujisan, Mount Fuji in the background. I thought that was a beautiful pic, day after Christmas. Just a beautiful day, super clear. Fuji came out really well. In this one, Tokyo Tower's in that shot, but it's going to be awful hard to see Tokyo Tower without me blowing up the picture. You also have in this shot Shinjuku showing up, as well as Roppongi, Ginza, all those areas in that general area on the other side of the river. I thought that was a really pretty picture. Whoever was there just left the chat. Okay. Well, moving on. I'm stalling. I'm just stalling. I'm sorry if you're getting bored. I'm stalling. I'm hoping to get more people before I start going. And that's why I'm doing this stuff. Anyways, here's the next pic. This pic's a really cool pic. This is a shot facing Odaiba. And there's also Disneyland, Disney Sea are showing up. But once again, they're way far away. You see where the ocean is. The ocean is out there. That's on the left-hand side. This where you see the ocean. That's where Disneyland and Disney Sea are. You can kind of see Disney Sea's little volcano mountain right there on the left-hand side of the ocean showing. On the right-hand side, just on the other side of the river, that's getting close to Odaiba area. So that's kind of a cool shot with the lens flare and everything. I thought that's kind of cool looking. Just kind of gives you an idea of kind of size of Tokyo. It's kind of big. Here's the next pic. This pic is going straight ahead, facing what they call Skytree. That's the new huge digital transmission array tower for all their digital programming, TV and radio and stuff like that. It's a huge tower, so it can cover all of Tokyo without any interference from the buildings. Tokyo Tower is starting to get a little bit. Tokyo Tower, the buildings are starting to pass it on size. They were getting taller than it, and so it was having a hard time sending the signal out. So they built this new tower called Skytree, and it's huge. It's a huge tower, very tall, and yeah, that's all 5G and stuff. So wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So I don't really go near that area too often. And just to the left of it. I think it's to the left. Or is it just to the right? No, it's just to the left. Just to the left will be... just to the right. Sorry, just to the right of the tower would be Ikebukuro. I used to live out in that area in Toshimaku, I believe. So, anybody out there? Mina-san? Yo-yo Toshio? Darimo inai no. Okay. Well, anyways, あともう少し新年ね。2023年新年。一緒に Let's just wait together till 12 o'clock. 15 minutes to go. 16 minutes to go. Now I'm by myself still. Usually I have somebody on. I guess it's because I haven't been making videos. I blame myself. I haven't done live stream in ages. I don't make videos very often anymore. I've just been having. It's been. I don't want to go dark. It's the end of the year. I don't want to go dark, but it's been a rough end of the year. I've been extremely lonely. I've been over in Japan for 20. Gosh, dang it! I'm coming up on 26 years in February. This next February will be 26 years that I've been over here, which will make it exactly 50-50 for how long I've lived in both countries. America, where I grew up, born and raised, and Japan. So 50-50. I've lived in Japan equal amount of times to how long I lived in America. And is I'm getting pretty lonely. All my friends that I worked with in the schools and stuff over here, they're long gone. I have no Japanese friends over here. It's hard to find Japanese friends. When you do find somebody who wants to be your friend, it's usually just they take you around and they get to use you as a way to show off their English speaking ability. So it kind of gets old pretty quick. And so it's like if you're willing to talk to me and be my friend, I'm okay with that. But if you're just gonna use me as a prop, not okay with that. It is what it is. It's been kind of, I'm having a rough time lately. I love my family, and I'm having a blast over here, guys. I really am. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a blast. I really enjoy it over here. I love what I do. I really enjoy what I do. I am blessed with the work I do. I kind of miss some of the stuff I used to do when I actually worked for the schools. Owning my own school has its benefits, but also the negatives are I don't have any adult companionship. Except my wife. I got my wife, but that brings along its own challenges. When you work with your wife and you're working out of your home and you're working with your wife and stuff, it's you're together quite a bit. Oh, there you go. Old Soul Jim's back. We'll do this. Thanks. Nope. He said nope. I don't understand. Old Soul Jim, you say you're back. We'll do this now. Nope. But you and me will do everything. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I got Old Soul Jim now. That makes me happy. I had a really good time. Old Soul Jim, he took off, went to, I don't even remember, Thailand? I think it's Thailand. He took off for a while, and but before he left, we got together when it was still summer, and it was a blast. Had a great time riding around with him for a day. It was a lot of fun. Just had a blast, and I needed that. That felt great because it had been a long time since I hung out with another foreigner in this country or anybody. Like I said, I don't have much for friends anymore, so it's nice having Old Soul Jim around. And I got some news for you, buddy, because you have in van, right? You have the in van. Well, Chaz Smith from America, from Portland, super great subscriber that I met up with when I went over to America a few years back, just before my dad passed away. I met up with Chaz. Awesome guy, super cool guy, and I haven't heard from him in ages. And it was today or yesterday, he sent me an email with some interesting news about the in van. So I thought, Old Soul Jim might get a kick out of that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having such a hard time. I'm still trying to vamp because I'm waiting for a few more people. I love that Old Soul Jim's here. Thank you so much for showing up, buddy. Some other people, please put something in the chat. I was talking earlier. I said, let's talk about this year and the new year. Any predictions? Any resolutions you got planned? And any highlights of this year? I have some. I that comedian that I dare not say his name on this this channel or this YouTube. I like watching him a lot, and he did a stream recently. It was hilarious. It was called Paul Week. He did it for a week, and it was really funny. He was talking about the Apostle Paul, and it was a great That was one of my highlights of the year. That was really good. We will talk on the new year. Cool. Are you going to go to bed now? Oh, I don't know. Also, Jim might be going to bed. But if you're not, if you can hang around till at least till the New Year's, that'd be cool. So, how do you like my format, buddy? You like my? I'm using my cell phone as the camera this time, not my computer, and I have a nice microphone. Can you hear me? Am I clear? Do I need to crank up the volume or bring the mic closer? I can bring it closer a little bit, like that. Does that help at all? Let me know. So anyway, I have some predictions for next year. I unfortunately, they're probably not great predictions. I'm not expecting a much better year per se in our area. They're still going strong with the not mass. They're not doing mass mandates over here, but the private companies and stuff like that, they're enforcing masks still over here. The government's not really enforcing it too much. They haven't said too much. They're not. They kind of even said as long as you're outside, you don't have to wear a mask when you're outside and stuff. They're not enforcing anything, but they're also not taking it off the table. So we're still having to deal with that. Everywhere I go, it's just everybody in a mask, and that gets to you. I'm not a big fan of that. It is what it is, though. I gotta go. Good night. I've got a wife to take care of. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Look good. I won't. Not looks good, but it sounds good. Okay, I'll take that. Doesn't look so good. Sorry about the. I shaved. My wife hates the beard, so I shaved. All right, have a good one, buddy. Here he took off. Oh, okay. Anyways, where was I? I don't even remember where I was at, but I was talking about my predictions for next year. With the mask mandates, it's still going to go on over here in Asia, Japan and China, and the lockdowns. I have a feeling they're getting ready to start the lockdowns again over here. Businesses are hurting. Bonuses are going down. Who do we got? Alain Pierre. Hey, Alain Pierre. Bonjour. How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in ages. How you doing? Konbawa. You look cold. Come you here. I'll take care of you. Thank you also, Jim. I thought you went to bed. Got a wife to take care of, buddy, but thanks for that. Yeah, I am cold. It's a little cold here. I'm charging my battery for my electric vest. I'll make plans for you really soon. Awesome. Cool. I'm on vacation, so call me anytime. I haven't been doing anything because not much to do. I don't want to blow money on nothing. I'm trying to be very conservative with my money. I kind of was stupid, and I kind of splurged. I never buy anything for myself. Bye-bye. All right. Bye. Bye also. Bye, Jim. Anyways, I don't usually buy anything for myself. But this year I thought, why not? I'm going to do it. So, you saw the video. I put it up already. I put that sound system in my car. And it sounds great. It's awesome. Especially when I'm charging. I've got this great sound system for watching movies on and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It makes charging time go by really fast. It's awesome. However, it was a lot of money. I don't ever spend that kind of money on myself. If I have that kind of money, I put it towards something that's important for the school, or for my family, for the house, or the cars mechanically. But I did this year just to kind of relive because I have been in a funk, guys. I have been in a funk, and I'm still in a funk. I could easily go dark, and I'm trying not to. I'm doing the best I can to be cheery, the best of my ability. I mean, you know me. Most of you guys that are on my channel, you know my deal. Wow, you're 8 minutes away from 2 times, but still 8 hours. Really? Oh, I thought Europe was ahead of us. Okay, cool. 8 minutes away. Is it really 6 minutes? Wow, time's flying by. That's good. That's good because I'm tired. So you guys know my situation. Most of you guys that are my subscribers, you know about my I'm on the spectrum, and I'm on the spectrum, and I have really difficult time socializing, and it makes it hard to keep friends or make friends and things like that. And my last one of my last videos, not the last one, but the one before that, I don't have my phone. I was talking about the Bertaria Times app. It's a social media app that I use to communicate with people, like-minded people in this community that this comedian has started, and it was going pretty well. Unfortunately, I just don't fit in. I guess I'm a jackass. I don't know, but I must come off that way when I leave comments and stuff, and I'm just tired of it. I took one of those social sexual hierarchy tests, online tests, and it was kind of funny. Everybody was telling me, take the test, take this. I came with this, I came with that, and I was sure I was going to come up with Delta. A Delta is like that is kind of a person with my situation. We tend to be Deltas. We're just hard workers. We focus on our work, and we're diligent. We just, when we're working, we're just boom, we're focused, and we don't do anything else. I thought I was going to come with Delta. On the test, actually, I came up a Bravo, which blew my mind because I had the worst time of my life starting elementary, junior high, and high school with bullies. And the bullies were all from the popular cliques of school. So they would be considered the alphas and stuff. And they were just terrible bullies to me. So I have no respect to any kind of alpha male. Zero. And a Bravo is always the guy that, he's the second in command. You got the alpha and you got the Bravo. The Bravo he's the man that the alpha gives all the work to, and that guy carries it out for the alpha. I have no interest in doing that. So I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted by a test that said something. It kind of makes me feel like the test must be wrong, because honestly, with me being on the spectrum, and I've studied all the different, I did all this stuff. Oh gosh, what time is it? I'll go into detail in a few more minutes. 4 minutes away. 4 minutes away. So, don't let me miss this. Okay, there's a clock there. So 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away now. So I'll go into more detail, but you guys know I never fit in when I was bullied really bad. So when I got into high school, I decided to start really working on junior high and high school. I started working on my socializing skills, and I did I took acting class, I took speech class, in my high school actually had we had a psychology class, and I took the psychology class. I even joined some clubs for socializing. I don't even remember the name of the clubs, but they were like for all the international kids would join, and you would have to, welcome them and stuff and do parties and stuff. So I joined those clubs. Oh, gosh dang, this has annoying me. So I did a lot of stuff to study and so I'd come out not so odd. What I was going for is not to be so odd, be a little bit more personable for people. And it took a long time. It didn't happen overnight, and I'm still working on it. Obviously, I tend to tick people off. I come off as a jackass, I guess. I'm saying jackass, and the word I'm actually trying, I rather say, but I don't use profanity here. But I guess I'm a bit of a jackass to people, and I rub people the wrong way. I can, and I try not to. I do the best I can, but I'm straight too. I don't beat around the bush. I don't white lie. I don't do those things. I know a normal person would do that. It's just not in my makeup. I don't do that kind of stuff. I do sometimes for effect when I'm making these videos. I do sometimes exaggerate. I'll do exaggerations, or I'll, not like big exaggerations, but like instead of like if I'm giving like the weight of something that I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like if I'm talking about something, I might want to make it sound a little bigger or better. I don't do it with my test. My driving test, I don't mess around with that. You guys, you know that. I don't mess with my numbers when I do my driving test. But like if I'm talking about something I bought, and I'll add like extra weight. I'll round up, you know. I do stuff like that, you know. But I'm straight when I'm talking to somebody. 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. We're 1 minute away from 2023 over here in Japan. I hope we can hear some noises outside. I doubt it. Japanese aren't like that. Here we go. Let me see. What do we got? 1 minute what? What is it? I don't have my phone is my camera today, so I don't have access to my phone. What is it? Where are we at? Oh! It's New Year's! It's 12 o'clock. Happy New Year! Yay! Happy New Year's, guys. 2023. And I wish I could say it's going to be a better year than last, but most likely it's going to be a little harder for a lot of people. It's going to be a rough year. That's my prediction. Things are going to heat up and get even more intense with what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. You know, things like that. It's going to be rough. Also, Asia still, we've probably got 2 more years of this BS to deal with over here with the mask mandates and stuff like that. Thanks, Relaine Pierre. Happy New Year to you too, buddy. Whew. Should old acquaintance be forgotten? Anyways, you know how it goes. Anyways, yeah. So, no fireworks, no woo going over here, but I'll do it. Woo woo. Like that. How's that? That's the best I can do, guys. I don't have one of those noisemakers. I don't have that. So, Happy New Year. I hope you do have a good New Year. I'm saying in general. I'm not talking about people in you know, I'm not being specific. I'm saying in general it could be a little rougher year for a lot of people out there, and especially in Asia, the Asian area. Bonuses are going down. People's hours are going down. People are losing work. Jobs, restructuring, and things like that is going all over. Oh, we got sirens. That's a police car. A police car. Well, I guess they're ringing in a new year. You're gonna hear it in a second. Thank you for that. Happy New Year. I don't know what's going on. They're making a big deal. Somebody had a New Year's accident probably. We're having a lot of accidents lately over here too as well. People have been driving pretty aggressive this end of the year. They take it very seriously over here. Also, they have a lot of Bonin-kais end of the year parties, and the next month they're going to have Shinen-kais, New Year's parties. And so there's a lot of drinking, and unfortunately there's a lot of driving after drinking over here. So there's probably a big accident somewhere already, right at 12 o'clock. Unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I wanted to say I spotted an Aria in the wild. I was going to mention that earlier. I forgot. My wife and I spotted an Aria in the wild. Unfortunately, it was in a bad accident. But I told my wife it was the best looking car in that accident. I'm not an SUV fan, but I have to say, the Aria, it gets me every time. One time I was charging my Leaf, jamming to my new tunes in the trunk, and jamming to my music. Just enjoying life with my new music going on in my Leaf. I was just charging at the convenience store, and a really beautiful shade of blue Aria drove by with these beautiful wheels on it, and it was looking good. This guy did a really good job on his Aria. It really stuck out. And I was like, dang, that's a good looking SUV. And I don't like SUVs. They're usually pretty damn ugly. Porsche's one of the ugliest ones out there for me, but none of them look that good. None of them. Benz. Mazda, I used to like Mazdas, but now they're kind of like the CX-6 and CX-5. Nah. But the Aria, yeah, it still has a good look to it. I don't know what you guys think about that. I don't know. But anyway, so there was an Aria. No, unfortunately, it was already in an accident. I checked out there. So one of my subscribers asked me in the comments, What's the deal? All the pre-orders have been canceled over here in Europe. What's going on over in Japan? Yeah, the Aria. As a matter of fact, all three. I'm tired, guys. All three of the EVs, the Aria, the Sakura, and the Leaf, have been canceled, and pre-orders have been canceled as well. And it's been going on since the beginning of November, and no end in sight. So you can't even order. You can't even put your name on a waiting list. They've locked it down, and it's all because of what's going on in China still. And so. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but I'm letting you know it's not just in Europe. It's all over. The Aria is shut down. You can't buy it. The thing that's really fascinating to me is the Sakura had a short window where they were able to sell some before China went to another lockdown. And so they're pumping out the Sakuras, and I'm shocked. I see at least once or twice a day a Sakura wherever I'm at. Tokyo, Chiba, wherever I'm at, I see Sakuras. And so it means they pumped out a lot in like a 2 or 3 month window. A lot. So that car is popular. And what blows my mind about the Sakura, I love that little car, but it's nearly, oh, wow, it's expensive. It's $30-some thousand for a K car. That's crazy. And it has less range than the first gen Leaf, which blows my mind when the battery pack is only 4 kilowatt hours less than the first gen Leaf battery pack, and it's a light car with a very small motor. How the heck does the range go down that bad? I don't get it, but that's the way it is on the Sakura. But it's still it's a very cute car, and K cars have all kinds of benefits that a regular car doesn't get with the tax. They have tax credits. They're cheaper on the highways. Parking's cheaper for them. Everything's cheaper for them as far as taxes and things like that. Tolls. Here comes another police car. So the police are happy. I've been hearing a lot more fire engines and ambulances and police cars for the past few months now. I don't know what that's all about. Used to be, especially the fire engines, you didn't hear very often, maybe once a week. Now I'm hearing twice a day, every day. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on lately, but geez, they're happy. They're excited. Oddly, no EV channel speaks about the Sakura, probably because it is a K car limited to Japan. Yeah, gosh dang it. Hang on a second, guys. Really, guys? You guys, there's nobody out there. 0 people on the roads. You don't have to be screaming on the PA systems like that. Oh, the way. There's nobody out there. Anyways. So, yeah, the Sakura is an awesome car. I drove it. Wow. The seats are super comfortable. Lots of legroom for a K car. That's the thing about K cars. They tend to have more legroom than a standard car. I don't know. It's because there's 0 trunk hardly. So the seats are very far away. The front seats and the back seats are very far away from each other. So if you're sitting in the back, person with me, my long legs, I can stretch them all the way out and not even reach the seat in front. Lots of legroom in the back of those cars. And in the front, it's pretty good too. And the seats are very comfortable, much softer than the seats that are in the Leaf or Aria. Dashboard is almost identical to Aria on the Sakura. It's got a very similar dash, the instrumentation and everything as the Aria, which is kind of cool for a K car. The outside exterior is probably one of the best looking K cars out there. Just like the Aria is probably the best looking SUV. Nissan did a really good job on the design of the Aria. It's a sharp looking little K car. It's cute, and I like a lot of K cars. That inbox I had, I miss it a lot. I loved that K car. Man, that thing was fun. It was much roomier than the Sakura. It was a much boxier, bigger car. So it was much roomier, and it had all kinds of cool features. It could drive itself. It had paddle shifters. It was turbocharged 4-wheel drive. It was pretty loaded car in that Honda. I really missed that car. I really, really missed that car. But the Sakura is pretty nice. But Sakura's range is 180. That's this catalog on a full charge, 180 kilometers. That's not good. I mean, I know that K cars, like my inbox, its best range on a full tank of gas on that car was 200 and maybe 240 kilometers, 250 kilometers, which isn't really that great either because it's a small tank. they put very teeny tanks in these cars, so it's very cheap to fill them up. So you feel, and they get, the engines are very energy efficient, fuel efficient, so they get really good gas mileage. Even that big bulky car I had, I was getting like 50, 60 miles to the gallon. It was they're really, really efficient cars, fuel efficient. And I thought for sure Sakura would get, probably I was thinking with it has a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack. I was thinking it was going to get like close to what the 30 kilowatt hour Leaf was getting for range. Didn't even come close. I'm a little shocked, especially when the car's over $30,000. When K cars usually start, well, they can start as low as 10,000 over here, 10,000 US dollars over here, and the most expensive is usually 20,000. Like that's pushing it for a K car. And the Sakura is at $30 some thousand dollars. That's the most expensive K car over here in Japan. Maybe the only exception is its cousin, the Mitsubishi. I don't remember the name of it, but Mitsubishi actually makes these cars for Nissan. It was a joint design. Nissan designed the car, Mitsubishi's building the cars. But Mitsubishi, their version of the Sakura, it's very different and it's pretty dang ugly. They put that same front fascia that their Delicas have, the new Delicas, all those lights going down like that on the sides of it. It's pretty ugly. It doesn't have that Zen feel to it, that's for sure. They gave it an off-road feel, and it's not an off-road car. It's crazy looking. But yeah, their car is probably pretty expensive as well. So there's that. If you guys are interested in that, everyone's left the chat. Everybody's gone. Happy New Year. Goodbye. All right. Well, that's that. I just wanted to give you an update on the Sakura. So there you go. Let's go to the InVan. I was telling. Why isn't it showing up? What am I doing wrong? Do I need to turn my video off? No. Why isn't my InVan working? What's going on? I lost my... All right. Let's skip the InVan. Anyways, the news on the InVan, I had the homepage to show. The InVan is a car that also Jim bought, and it's a great car. It's based on the N series. It's a van. It's more for utility. It's more for work than for personal use. But a lot of people buy them for camping. It's a great camping kind of K car because the seats can go full flat. I mean, you can make this whole thing full flat on the side. It's really cool. But the seats are not comfortable. They're hard as rock because they want it to be full flat. So they're very thin when they're open, and it's very hard and not a good seat to be sitting in for a long trip. So it's very utility. It's for work, being as a work van. Amazon wants to use those InVans. A lot of people that work for delivering Amazon packages, they do use the InVan, the gasoline version. Well, they have an electric version coming out, and it's going to actually have this InVan. They're promising. Hang on. They are promising 200 kilometers of range, 124 miles of range on this van. It's a big, bulky van, and they're saying the price is going to start at US dollars, 7,300 US dollars. That'd be about 10,000 Japanese dollars over here if we had dollars. Let's try this van thing again. Now they got that thing on. Let's see. Can I get it to work? Here we go. That's the problem. Let's see. Can I get it to work? Man, I wanted to show you guys this. Hang on. Let me see if I can do the link again. Just give me a second here, guys. Because I want to show you the van. Because some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, probably. It's a K version van. I don't know why it's not working all of a sudden. It was working earlier, but it's not working now. Anyways, it's a van, but it's very small van, but it's roomy on the inside. and it can go full flat. And like I said, most people that buy it it's for companies and stuff, delivery vans and stuff over here. And they're gonna have a full electric one that's gonna have 200 miles of range and it's $10,000 because it's the basic. It's kind of the very base. It's the very basic one. It does have air conditioning, but nothing special. No Navi in it. I think it still even has power. It might have crank. It might have crank windows. It's very basic, so it's gonna be about $10,000. But it's gonna be electric with 200 kilometers of range. And the Sakura is $30-some thousand, and it has only 180 kilometers of range, and it's a much smaller, lighter car and less bulky, more aerodynamic. Unbelievable. Nissan, seriously. Hello. Come on, man. If Honda can do it, you should be able to do it. So that's that. Sorry, I wish I could have showed you a picture. I'm really all by myself. Elaine Pierre did write 3 minutes ago, and as long as charging infrastructure in Japan will remain frozen in CHAdeMO to charges max age, EVs won't grow in Japan. Yeah, I don't. EVs are gonna have a hard time growing. They're stuck. Japan they're stuck on CHAdeMO because it wasn't just Nissan that invented it. It was a group. Nissan, I believe it was Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Toyota got together and invented the CHAdeMO, and they're very proud of it. And I think it can handle up to 150 kilowatts of max. You can put 150 in those things. Don't think it can go over 150, but they think that's enough for their battery packs over here. Probably is, except the Aria. The Aria, we're gonna get 90. They're gonna use a 90 kilowatt charger for the Aria, which I think has, what is it? Isn't that you have a 60 some kilowatt version, but also an 80. The 60 is going to be bad enough with only a 90 kilowatt charger. You can look at it, to get to 80%, it's going to take over an hour just to get to 80% on that car. That's a nightmare. And then another thing that's bad about it over here is there's hardly any of those chargers. I have one over here up the street, and it's at least has double charges. So if an Aria is there, if someone else is there, Aria can still charge. But it's only 90 kilowatts. It's the most power they're going to have over here for a charger for the Aria. That sucks. Europe, at least, is going to have 300 kilowatt chargers. I don't know what the Aria can handle, what it's going to be made to handle over in Europe. But they have bigger chargers for them. Do you think that Toyota finally producing real EVs, aka not Priuses, could revitalize EV market in Japan? Good question. Toyota is coming out with some full electrics. They're also coming out with a new Prius that actually looks pretty good, I guess. If you're into EV hybrids, you know how I feel about the hybrids. However, hopefully Toyota can do something, but if things don't change soon, I'm gonna be forced over back to gasoline, and I'll probably get a hybrid because electric rates are skyrocketing. And I just read, I think it's Oslo in Norway is the most expensive. Charging is now more expensive than gasoline. If you watch Rich Rebuilds, Rich just bought a used Rivian because he wanted the truck really bad, and he went on a trip he went from New Jersey down to Florida or close to Florida, and it was a nightmare. First of all, just trying to find chargers, and then when he found chargers, they were very low power, so it'd take him like 2.5 hours, 3 hours to charge up. And some of those times it was over $70 when he got done charging for one charge. That's insane. Those are like same as gasoline prices for trucks in America, for filling up a truck in America. Close. Some trucks are, like the F4 or F-150, that can be even more expensive depending on what kind of fuel you're putting into it. But it's close. It's getting close. But Oslo is now officially more expensive to charge your car than if you had a gasoline car. It's everywhere. The prices are skyrocketing on electric cars, and they're also threatening to, like I told you this last summer, it was a nightmare trying to use 2 electric cars at the same time because they were cutting the grid down so bad over here. They're doing brownouts and stuff. And so when I was taking these kids on a trip, I was doing this summer day camp every day. We were going out, and it was a real challenge trying to find places where I could charge. And if I did find a charger, they cut the power way down on it, so it's not much more than a home charger. It was insane. It was insane. and so they keep going that direction. They're gonna force me back to a gasoline car. Gasoline is cheaper than charge. With what Nissan has the best deal. I haven't gone to that car yet. I still have a year and a half left on my what we call SkyTie Hodai, my all I can charge, all I want to charge for $20 a month card. I have a year and a half left on it, but when that expires, I have to change my plan, right? And when I change my plan, Nissan right now still got the best plan, but it's as expensive as owning a K car and getting gas, maybe even more expensive. K car is $3 a fill up. They get such good gas mileage. I think my Honda Inbox, I filled up twice a month. That's it. So I was like $60, and the Nissan card is $100 a month, just flat rate, and I might be able to get away with just a few You get a few charges on that flat rate, but after that you have to pay. You pay per minute. They don't pay by kilowatt over here. They pay per minute, and that adds up really quick. And if like you cut off at 9 minutes, they charge you 10 minutes. It goes in 10-minute intervals. So if you stop like at 15 minutes, they count that as 20 minutes. So you just lost 5 minutes of your money, the minutes you paid for. 5 minutes it's evaporated, it's gone. And so you keep doing that kind of crap. So you have to really pay attention with a new card. You're gonna have to really pay attention to that clock on that charger, and make sure that you stop that charger at the 20-minute mark, at least a 20-minute mark, or a 10-minute mark. It goes in 10-minute increments, right? 10, 20, 30. You don't want to go 15 or 25. You're losing a lot of time, because they only give you a certain amount of minutes on those charges on that card. And so they're really probably pushing me back to a hybrid. And Toyota's got some really cool. That new Prius hybrid looks pretty sweet. They also have that RAV4 plug-in hybrid. It's 30 kilowatt hour battery pack on it. That thing's calling my name if I could ever afford it, but it's $60,000 over here right now. If you can get it, you can't even order it right now. So the used ones are skyrocketing in value. So you got things like that going. I don't know if Toyota can revitalize it. I don't know. So Honda. Honda's trying to go electric now finally, but I don't know. And Honda's got some nice cars, but man, dude, the Honda E, as cute as it is and fun to drive, the range isn't that great, and the price tag on that thing's ridiculous. Over here, $60,000. $60,000. That is getting you. You're in the front door. You're just getting into the entry level trim of the Aria at $60,000. So would I get a 4-passenger little teeny cute little car that has mediocre range, or would I go for that nice big 5-passenger humongous trunk, excellent legroom SUV that gives you really good range, really good range? Even the low level one over here, you're getting 300 miles per charge. It's crazy good range on that car. So yeah, I don't know. Do you think that? Oh, you already said that. So that's it. Okay. Anyways, so that's my thing on the EV, on that Aria stuff. Yeah. All right. I still like the Aria. Someday I might own it. I might do it. Like if I could ever find an Aria for $25,000 or maybe $30,000, like used, I might go for it. I mean, heck, I found a first gen Leaf. These first gen Leafs, when they first came out, when I first bought my first gen Leaf over here, 2014, I bought my first gen, right? It was a 1.5 gen technically. I call it the 1.5. It was a version up from the very first 2010 model, and I paid just under $50,000 for that. I mean, really, like 49 something, just under $50,000 for that car. And I bought it used, a newer model. I bought a 2015 model used for less than $10,000. So who knows? Maybe I'll be able to find an Aria someday for 25, 30 grand. Half the price what they're selling for now. That would be awesome. That would be great. Might be a long time. Might be in pretty sad shape. I don't know, but I'm telling you, my Leaf here, I've got over 2,200 charges under its belt, and it's still going strong. I just took it for a drive today. It was freezing today. We didn't get above 7 degrees. It was really cold. And I took my wife for a drive. It was sunny and clear, but it was cold. A little windy. And we drove around the Chiba Prefecture. We went around the ocean side and stuff. And I got good range. From an 80% charge, I was averaging about 120 kilometers. For the wintertime, damn good. I don't know what that is in miles, but damn good for a 8-year-old car. It's almost 8, guys. 2023 is going to be 8 years old, and it'll turn 8 years old in February, I think it is. It's nearly 8 years old. It has still 10 segs on the original battery pack to it, with over 2,200 charges. It's in excellent shape. It drives so good. The seats are comfortable. Everything works great. I've never had any issues mechanically with that car. It's a solid car. I tell you, it's going to have to. I know people are going to kick. You're going to have to. It's going to have to. They're going to be kicking and dragging. They're going to be dragging and kicking and fighting. But it's going to have to go down in the history books as one of the best made electric cars out there. Period. Even by today's standards. It was a really solid car when they made that car, especially the 1.5 version. 2010 for the first Leaf. Amazing to see how EVs have grown in 12 years. Yeah, but entry level prices, second hand cars, remains dissuasive. Exactly, Elaine Pierre, and that is a problem we have to deal with. I've been talking about that for years. That and the range problems for wintertime range. There is still a problem, even with the cars that get the heated battery packs, heated and cooled battery packs, like the Teslas and all, the Hyundai cars. They still lose at least 20% of the range in the wintertime. Lithium ions are really dogs in the wintertime for range issues. Hardly any regenerative braking available when they're cold. Even just charging them when they're cold, it takes forever. I have to do a 30-minute charge on a 60 or 50 kilowatt charger, 30 minutes on the first gen Leaf. I get to 70% from about 30%. From 30% to 70% takes a full 30 minutes in the wintertime. I mean, in summertime, I can get that in like 70%. I get that in 20 minutes. The rest of the 10 minutes will, no, I can get to 80% under 30 minutes in the summertime. So, I mean, it's really slow in the wintertime. And so that's an issue that needs to be taken care of as well with electric cars. I see what you're saying about electric cars. They have changed a little bit, but honestly, this first gen Leaf still, it's holding up, man. It's holding the 1.5 version Leaf I have. It's holding up really well. I mean, I have the remote. I can preheat my car, pre-cool my car. I can plan my trip on my computer or my phone, send the information to the Navi wirelessly. I mean, it's got some pretty cool features. I can hit the charge, start charging it from the phone and things like that. That all still works, and the Navi is still good. I have an operator. Remember, I have that concierge service. I got TV. I can watch TV in that car versus a Tesla can't even do that. It's just it's a solid car for as old as it is, and it still holds up to me. I get decent range on an 8-year-old battery pack. It's not bad. I definitely have no problem traveling anywhere still in that car. I might have to. I'm not even charging any more often because I only charge to 80%. And if I'm going on an extra long trip or something, I'll go to 85% maybe. But I still don't have to. I don't have to change my charging habits. I don't charge to 100 ever. So if I was gonna go somewhere and I felt like, okay, I might have a hard time getting to that next charger when the car was new, I had no problem. But maybe it might be a little tricky. Then I could just charge to like 90 or 95%, and then I still have plenty of buffer. It's not an issue at 8 years of age. I can still travel the same distances I did before when it was brand new, and get the same. I can still hit the same spots for charging. I don't have to charge more often. that's amazing. I mean, that's saying something about the car. So that's how I feel. The new EVs out there right now, Hyundai is turning heads with their Ioniqs and stuff, and they're cool. Honestly, the Ioniq 5, I finally saw Rich did a review of it, kinda. I don't like it at all. That is not a nice looking car. Sorry, James in Scotland. I love your channel and I think you're an awesome dude. But man, I'm sorry, that car. What is going on, people? It's Hyundai. It's Hyundai. They're on a different. Their styling is different. I really do like the direction Nissan's gone. The second gen Leafs are still pretty attractive on the outside. Inside's a little boring to me. I don't like the dash. It's so generic. But the exterior looks great. I mean, you don't even see the charge door. The charge door is hidden. You can't even see it when it's closed. It's nice job. Nice job on that. So it's a good looking car still. The Aria, one of the best SUVs out there right now for looks. When things finally settle down and you start seeing it in your area, you'll see what I mean. It's a good looking car. And the Sakura, probably the best looking K car out there. Too expensive, but really good looking, really nice styling. What is Korea thinking? What's Hyundai thinking with their cars right now? I don't get that at all. I know that the features on the inside are amazing. The UI though is pretty poor, but that's nothing new. They've always had a problem with their UIs on the Kias and on the Hyundais. Nothing's changed. This new the Ioniq 5, I think it is, whatever it is that Rich was trying out. That UI was terrible. EVs age so much better than anti-EVs predicted. Remember those in 5 years. Your battery will be shot. Nope. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Not at all. Dude, I'm shocked myself because I believed all the stuff. I believed it. And Nissan did promise us though. They did promise us stuff. They said no. They said for sure you're gonna be a certain amount of segs for 5 years, and after that it'll drop. But they said it would never go below 70% for up to 10 years. They said, I think up to 10 years you're gonna have 70% of your battery health. Now, when it gets to 70%, your range is gonna be very different than when it was at 100%. But it's still doable. It's still a usable car for most of your every day-to-day errands and stuff. You don't have to throw the car away or even switch the battery pack. You will have to make a few more stops charging if you're going to take a long trip, but still doable as long as the weather is not too hot. It's another issue with the first gen Leafs, since they don't have any air cool. It's strictly air cooling, no liquid cooling on the battery packs. Summertime can be a bit of a pain going anywhere if you have to charge a lot, right? Everybody knows that. But spring and fall and even winter, no problems at all. Winter range goes down, but once you get the battery pack warmed up from a couple charges, your range gets better. You finally get some regen of braking going and stuff. So yeah, spring, fall, and even winter, you have decent range on even a 10-year-old battery pack. I mean, Nissan promised it. We didn't believe it, and this car's proving it. And this car's doing even better than what Nissan was predicting. I don't know what my first the silver Leaf I had, I don't know how that would have done. It lost a seg much quicker than this one did, but it had my first gen had a lot less miles on it, but it's just every battery reacts differently. And like what Nissan said is that what the batteries do is at the very beginning they drop kind of quick. They go boo, and then they level out, and they drop boo, and they level out, and then they start dropping a little bit more, and then they level out, and they stay like that for quite a while. They don't go boom. Now, some of the first gens, especially the 2010s and 2011s, some of those, they had some serious battery issues. So the chemistry was different. Also, over here, what they were doing, because we had those cool cards, they would charge the cars at the quick charger, take it home, and power their house off the car. And since the car was just sitting there in the summertime, our summers are pretty hot, they would cook the battery. The battery get really hot powering their house. at night, because we don't, it's still in the 80s over here at night, pretty and muggy, so the battery pack would heat up really bad at night when they were using it at their house and stuff. And so yeah, we had a lot of those guys that had the first gen Leafs, and they had what was called back then a Leaf to Home, where they could plug it into their house and power their house, which we still have those systems. They've actually improved them a little bit. They're even better than they were. They didn't know better, and they were cooking their batteries. Their batteries were getting really hot, and they weren't getting the information that they needed to keep their batteries cool. Some guys caught on eventually, but by then it was too late, and their battery health was like at 50%, and within a few years of ownership of the car. That was on them though. They should have been paying more attention. It was all new though, but they know better now. But yeah, I mean, the cars do hand up. Yeah. I really do like my Leaf. I'm not getting rid of it. I will replace the battery when it comes time where I cannot do what I usually do with my car, and it starts getting a little bit too bothersome. I have to start charging more often stuff. I'm not there yet because I'm still only charging at 80%. I still got that buffer, right? I got a 20% buffer where if I'm starting to lose enough range, I can just start charging 90%, then 95%, and eventually just charge to 100%. And by then, when the battery's health is starting to drop, and I'm even 100%, I'm going to have to start charging more often. Then I'll think about getting a new battery pack. And I want to get from a wrecked 40, like a 40 kilowatt hour battery pack and put it in. But over here in Japan, a little more difficult than other countries. Japan, hard to find third-party places that'll do that kind of stuff for you, unlike New Zealand or Australia. Hi, baby. Bring my doggy up here. Yes, you can be up here with me. I know you don't like the sweater, but it keeps you warm. So, what was I saying? So yeah, I'm not getting rid of my car. Yeah. I'm not getting rid of my car. I love my car. I love my first gen. I love my first gen Leaf. It's a wonderful, wonderful car, and I'm rejuvenated actually with that. Like I said, I shouldn't have done what I did. I splurged on myself. I've never done that before. I haven't done that in ages, but I wanted to relive my youth a little bit since I'm getting to I told you in February this next year, I'm going to be exactly 50-50 for living in both America and Japan. It's going to be exactly the same amount of time, and I'm homesick, and extremely homesick lately, and so I thought I'd go back to my youth when I was young. I used to, like I said in a previous video, I used to compete in the IASCA car stereo competitions and stuff like that, and I used to work for a guy that had his own car stereo shop, so I was considered a pro, even though I wasn't, but because I helped out doing installations and stuff. But I had a pretty good setup in my Honda Accord. I had a hatchback Accord, which is perfect for car audio. You don't want trunks. You can do it with a trunk, but it's a lot more extra work. The hatchback's much easier on you for low budget. So I had a hatchback Accord, 84 Accord, and I had like 3,000 watts of power in that thing, and crossovers. I had passive and active crossovers. I had 12-inch subs and tweets and mid-range lining my doors and A-pillars. And I actually did pretty good in those competitions. It was a lot of fun. It was way too loud. That was way too much power. I hurt my ears a little bit, and I pissed off so many cars around me when I drove because I used to crank the bass up. This time I put in just a 10-inch, one 10-inch, and that box is very impressive how they ported it. They tuned it perfectly to mimic a 12-inch, so it gets a really good bass, really good low end. But because it's such a small surface area, it's a 10-inch. The air that's being pushed through it and stuff is not near the volume as like 212s would do. So it doesn't travel as far. It sounds great in the car, and you can hear it outside. If I crank it really loud, you can hear it, but it's not going to piss off anybody in the car next to me. They're hear this, but they're not going to hear. Like with my Honda Accord, I would shake their mirrors so bad they would just pound on they'd get out of their cars, pound on my car and stuff, and say, turn that crap down, because they couldn't look out their own side mirrors and rear view mirrors. It was just, they couldn't hear their own music and stuff. This car won't do that. I don't have near the the air being circulated from that subwoofer. It sounds great though, and it's just rejuvenating me in that regard with the car. Having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, sorry about that. Once again, I hate my information I get from YouTube. They're telling me that nobody's watching, and I don't know if I believe that. I don't think I believe that. Thank you for the likes. Anybody that gave me a like, I really appreciate that. I'm seeing I got 2 likes. I have one person viewing, looks like. When I saw your new subwoofer in my Leaf video, I wondered, can the subwoofer be quickly removed if you need your trunk? Absolutely. I did that. Yes, absolutely. They're just quick disconnects. They're like, but they look like, what are they called? The banana type, where they stick in the post and disconnect them, pull that box right out. Yeah, it's no problem. The amp is mounted to the trunk, but it's a very low profile amp and it's small. So that's not gonna. I just cover it with something so nothing scratches it and put something over it. We're good to go. Yeah, I can totally get my trunk back if I need to. So, oh, thanks, Elaine Pierre. Thank you. Somebody's watching out there. Thank you. Oh, Elaine Pierre, I miss you, buddy. I really do. I am so lonely lately. I got Oslo Jim, and I mean, he's such a lifesaver for me. I have been so down in dumps lately, Elaine. I have been so down in dumps. And I missed the good times we had together when you came over. Always a good time with you. You're a great guy. You're a really great guy. And, you know, I feel bad all the stuff that you have to go through, too, over in France lately. But I know you're handling it well because it just rolls off your shoulders, I'm sure. Rolls right off your back like water on a duck's back. But, yeah. Okay, because I thought base or trunk space. No, I can get my trunk space back if I need it. But actually, there's still tons of room. I took my family for a drive because it turns out my wife and daughter love the bass. They've never had that. They've never heard that before. You know, I grew up on it. It's kind of a big deal in America. Japan, they're not into that kind of stuff, right? So I put this thing in, and Julia and my wife realized, wait a minute, there's notes in this music we've never heard before. You don't hear there are hidden notes in music that most people never hear unless you have a big subwoofer box and enough power and amp to push those notes. But there are hidden notes, and they're hearing these notes, and it changes the music, and they love it. So they make me take them for drives now, and we all went for a drive, my whole family. So all 4 of us went in the car, and we all took all of our stuff, and we put everything in the trunk in still room. It's still a big trunk. I mean, that's what I love. That's one of the things I love most about the first gen Leaf. The trunk space is ridiculous on those cars, and second gens. The Leafs have incredible trunk space, wonderful trunk space. I feel like the trunk space is so big that, like the second gen, they could have pushed it back a little bit, could push those back seats just a little further back, give you a little more leg room in the back, and they still would have plenty of trunk. But I mean, I do love the trunk space. The Leaf is a crazy trunk. Yeah. I sensed your hopelessness in your recent videos. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. I am having a hard time. I am. I could easily go really dark right now. I was starting to go there earlier before New Year's hit. It's just, I'm having a rough time. I'm so lonely. And it's the holidays, you know. Miss my family. My father's gone, but I still got my mom, and I have one of my sisters. The other sister kind of disowned us, the whole family. You know, and but my mom, she doesn't really care for me much. She never has. I don't know. Once again, I think it's my Asperger's, the fact I'm on the spectrum. I do piss people off. And I was gonna ask you guys. I was gonna bring this stuff up. One of the things that happened to me just yesterday, like 3:30 in the morning. Okay, before I went to bed last night, I was looking at my Bertaria Times app. I showed it in one of my videos. And I was commenting. I commented on this guy's video, and I get it. I can be a jackass. I'm pretty straight. I don't beat around the bush. I don't white lie. I don't do anything like that. Whatever's on my mind, I speak it. and I know it gets me into trouble. And I've done a lot of work. I talked about this earlier. I've done a lot of work in high school and stuff, trying to improve myself, trying to make myself better in social situations. And I think I've done okay. I've done better. I see my son. That's how I used to be, and I see myself now. I have all that work has paid off. I'm a little bit more less social awkward than my son in most situations, but I'm still not able to put a filter on it. I'll say it that way. I speak my mind, and people don't like that. They really don't like it, even though I don't mean anything negative about it. They take it negatively. And I was doing a post. I read this guy. This Spare Tire Times. It's a app for homesteaders and stuff. It's for people that we don't have much money. You guys know me. I barely get by, and part of it's my fault because I don't charge near the rates as all the other English schools out there. And I have one of the best ones in this area. In the Honshu area of Japan, I'm very confident my school is one of the best ones out there for teaching children a foreign language plus other things. And I have parents driving from other prefectures, driving over an hour from other prefectures to bring their kids to my school because they like the way my policies and the kids love my school so much. And so I know I could charge closer to what those other schools are charging, even though in the area I'm in, the demographics, the area I'm in is not as well off as the Tokyo area. I could still charge more. I mean, most international schools, especially kindergartens, go between $700 a month to $1,000 a month, depending on where the location is. I'm only $400 a month, and I could raise it. And I have parents that could afford that easily. I have some very wealthy parents that come to take their kids to my school because I told you, ever since the government took over all the kindergartens and made them all public, the Japanese kindergartens, all those kindergartens became public. They're free now. Kind of hard to get students for my school, but the ones I get are usually wealthier. The parents that still don't care about the money, they just want their kids to go to the best school, get their kids the best chance for their future, and so I get those kids. But a lot of, some of these moms, they're struggling just to put their kid in my school, and I know this, and I care about them. I care about my kids, so I don't raise my rates because I don't want to be a snob school. I want to be a school available for everybody, and I'm trying to do the best I can. It puts us in a hard financial times, kind of. We're doing better now. I paid those cars off. That helped a lot. But I mean, it's still, when you own your own business, even a small business like mine, I'm getting almost like over 40% of my income is taxed, income tax. And then you have all these other taxes on the sides as well. You got city tax, pension, health insurance. Now they have new consumption taxes. They don't have just one consumption. They have 4 different consumption taxes now. It gets ridiculous over here on all the taxes, and so it adds up. But things are easier with the cars being paid off. But I don't try to rip people off. I try to do a fair deal. I don't try to get rich. I'm just trying to take care of my family, give them stuff I wasn't able to give. Get myself, give them the opportunities that I didn't have, and I'm able to do that right now. And it was easier when a while back I had a lot of kids, and it was easier back then. But I was also well more into debt, so I was also spending a lot more money paying bills and stuff. But anyways, that being said, where am I going with this? It's so late. Hang on, let me read this real quick. Okay. That being said, this homesteading app is for people like, we're just trying to get by, if you can't. I used to have chickens. Remember, I used to have chickens up in that room. I don't know if you guys remember that. I had 3 chickens. I got lots of eggs. I was getting just 3 chickens. I was getting close to almost 20 eggs a week from 3 chickens. 3 eggs a day. It was crazy. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, it was crazy. Almost like 20 eggs. About 20 eggs a week from just 3 chickens. and I was also doing gardening. I had my own garden homestead through my wife's grandfather. He had this big piece of property until my wife's uncle took it over when the grandfather died. He just kind of kicked us off. But for a while there, we were growing our own food, and I had my own chicken and stuff. And that's what I like about this app. This app's about people doing that kind of stuff. And there's this guy who owns this big farm from Western Washington, and I like him. He's a nice guy, and he puts pictures up on his stuff. Of course, his pictures are about his farm, and he doesn't, how to say it, he's not pushing his stuff. He's not trying to sell stuff per se in his post, but he's definitely advertising his farm in a way in his posts. But I like him. He takes really good pictures, and the farm is a beautiful farm. And but once in a great while, he will put a link to his homepage, and you can check out his stuff. And I checked it out, and because he was like, I don't even know what it means, but he's saying I'm selling both beef and pork for half shares and shares, and I don't even know what that means. But a half share of pork was $1,000, and like the free range chickens for 3 birds, it was $75. These are organic, no steroids. They're very healthy birds. Turkey $110 for 1 bird. These prices were kind of like, I understand. I get it. I get it. He was telling me, like, you don't understand. We're not subsidized because we're organic. We're not subsidized by the government. We don't get any money from the government. Blah, blah, blah. So, it's a lot more money out of our pockets, blah, blah, blah. But, you just got done saying these are free-range birds and cattle and stuff. Most of it's free-range, which means they feed themselves, basically. You're not really spending a lot of money on feed. And, but, I mean, I get it. You do have supplies. I get it. You do have supply issues and stuff. But it's not like he was talking about with pigs, we got an argument. We're going back and forth. With pigs, you have to buy a water trough, and you have to put the pin in. You got a lot of money at the beginning to get started raising pigs, and you don't get that money back right away. I get that. I totally get that. You're selling a pig. The whole thing he said was this other guy jumped in. This other guy was defending the guy I was talking. I wasn't being mean. This is where I was talking. I'm trying to get your opinion. All I said was, I said in his post, he showed these prices. I said, whoa. I was like, I don't want to step on toes, but honestly, I can't afford that. That stuff is, wow. I was like, do you know what app you're advertising on? This is really for people that are just barely getting by. I mean, these are like for the top 10% people. This is for like the Silicon Valley guys that they're vegans and stuff that have all this money that, and I said that. I did say that because I was just wondering why. Because here, coming from me, I practice what I preach. Like I said, I could charge more for my own school. I could just get those wealthier parents and get their kids. I would actually have an easier time finding students in a way if I charge more, because a lot of people overlook my school because they feel like, oh, it's cheap, it must not be any good. That's how Japanese think. If you're expensive, oh, you must be good if you're expensive. That's the way it is over here. So I'm actually shooting myself in the foot, but I want to make it available for anybody is what I'm going for. I'm putting myself in just kind of a financial hardship. Not really, but kind of. I'm not getting rich at all, but I'm getting by. And I'm saying, you're part of this community. This whole thing is this community is trying to build is this community where we help each other, we look after each other, we support each other, and you're given the same rate that you give those people. Like, this guy's from Western Washington, so he's dealing. A lot of people that buy his stuff are these Silicon Valley people that Washington's getting flooded with right now. They're, because we've got Amazon now, Amazon headquarters in Seattle. We've got Microsoft. We've had Microsoft. We've got Google, Facebook. We got all these things in Seattle now, and so it's bringing all these people from Southern California that are used to these high prices coming up, and they're spending that extra money. They're jacking the prices up on these things. And these guys got really mad at me for just mentioning the fact, because I felt like, well, dude, I mean, come on, man, they're in this community. Can you give these guys like a 10% discount, 5%, 10% discount? Help them out a little bit. Maybe lose a little bit of your and they just come back and they give me this sob story on their end, and I get it. It's doing this stuff on a volume that they're doing it on is probably much more expensive. I get that. But I guarantee they're making good profit at the same time, too. They're not hurting. They're making good profit off of this stuff. And I just wish more people were, I see it all the time over here, guys. I see it all the time in Japan. Japanese have a saying, "Sore wa sore, kore wa kore," which means this is this, that, like business. This is business, nothing personal. It's just business. And I hate that phrase. I hate that. They use it on everything. The Japanese are terrible to each other. They're terrible to each other. They jack prices up on everything because, well, he makes good money. He can afford it. Kind of attitude. I gotta look out for myself kind of thing. Everybody looking out for themselves is the reason why everybody has to look after themselves. If more people put the other person ahead of them, kinda. I'm not saying put yourself in a bad situation financially, but if everybody would just think about the other person and maybe cut your profit margin down a little bit, right? Then, and if everybody did that, we'd all be able to, we wouldn't have to look out. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have to look out for ourselves because everybody's doing it. Everyone's looking out for each other, and we'd all be living a little easier life. That's how I feel. That's how I live my life. That's how I've always lived my life. And I think Alain Pierre can vouch for me if he's still here. He can vouch for me on that. He would tell you, I would give the shirt off my back if he asked when he's over here. I do that. Last time he visited, I was in financial turmoil when he visited last time. But it didn't stop me from being a good host because I feel like you got to do that kind of stuff. Especially for people that are my subscribers that come all the way over to Japan to visit me. The least I can do is roll out the red carpet. Even on a second or third visit, I will roll out the red carpet. I will do what I can. Even if it's financially hard on me, I will do it. Because that's the right thing to do. And these guys just couldn't get it to their head is what I was trying to say. It felt like I was getting ganged up on. They were just like piling on me. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, my phone just buzzing with all these people writing these long paragraphs. Paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, just beating me up, calling me, you're a fool, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't understand farming and blah, blah, blah. And I don't. I wrote to them, I said, I never said I did. I totally agree with you. I don't understand farming. But I also understand that you're all driving around in brand new 2022 or 2021 F-150s. You're all living in beautiful houses. You all have these gigantic farms. And you all claim you're debt-free. You all claim you don't have loans and stuff. That means you have a profit margin. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not. Sorry for the language. I'm not. I'm not saying you can't make money. But if we're all trying to look out for ourselves and get as much of a profit margin as possible, what kind of world are we living in? The whole purpose of this community that this comedian was trying to make was a kinder community. And I feel like when you're just trying to get the best, what is it, the bottom end or whatever, bottom line or whatever it's called, the best bottom line, you're not really looking out for the community. You're just looking out for yourself, I feel like. You can come down a little bit. You can cut your profit margin a bit and still be able to afford that truck and stuff. Obviously, that's how I feel. So I got in this big thing, and I finally decided this isn't for me. I thought this community was going to be great. I was all excited about it, and I realized not for me. I can't go along with it. And I really like the comedian. I'm still going to watch the comedian. The guy's hilarious. He's great. And I believe in everything he says. It's not him. He's a super nice guy. He'll give the shirt off his back. The guy is too nice sometimes. He has dairy cows of his own. He has 2 dairy cows. He has a small little teeny little homestead. And he sells this milk for a lot less than most places. Very cheap for his whole milk. I can't even get pure whole milk over here in Japan, like raw milk. I can't get pure raw milk. They have to. The best they can do is cook it for 10 minutes at 60 degrees centigrade instead of 100 and whatever for 3 minutes. They can do 10 minutes at 60 degrees centigrade. That's the best I can get. Uh-oh. Am I off? Ah. All right. Let's see here. Test 1, test 2. Am I here? I can attest that you're a wonderful guy, James. I have wonderful memories of my trips to Japan, probably because of you. Thank you. It's very Japanese to be immersively welcoming without waiting for anything in return. Yeah, I try, but it's not just the Japanese. I'm not trying to be Japanese. It's always been that way with me. Thanks, Elaine. I've always been that way. I don't know why. Okay, it's working. Okay, I'm still on. I freaked out because the chat disappeared on this computer, so I freaked out. But the chat's still showing up on here. That's good. That's just always been me. I mean, okay, great example. I worked back in 2001. I was working at a kindergarten. Excuse me, 2001, 2002. I was working at a kindergarten with these foreigners, and one of them was a guy from Boston. And the main guy that was kind of our boss at the time was leaving. Background. A couple years before that, I worked for this guy at this kindergarten, and I hated every second of it. I did not enjoy it, and I didn't get any pay at that time. They didn't pay me anything. I was on probation. I wasn't getting any money, and I couldn't stand the guy. So I was like, "See ya, I'm out of here." And I went and I found another job, and I was making good money and stuff. But my wife got pregnant, and we didn't have health insurance. And this place that the kindergarten that the guy worked at offered health insurance. So I went back to them, and they were off, and I told them how much I was making. I said, I'm not going to work for free anymore. You guys have to pay me. And they gave me a really good package. I was making better money at the kindergarten than the other place because they gave me all kinds of allowances. Allowance for the wife, allowance for the child, allowance for the apartment. They paid my transportation, which the other place didn't pay. So I was making really good money at this place this second time around. The guy that was the boss was still a jerk. I couldn't stand him, but he was quitting. He was only 1 year, and he was going to go on somewhere else. Well, there was another guy from Boston that was working with him that year, or the previous year and this year. So him and I were about equal on time working at that kindergarten with that guy. And the guy from Boston, I guess, was really worried because some of the staff really liked me a lot. They thought I was really good with the children. I was a good teacher. And so he was worried. He got a little worried and nervous, I guess. And he tried to sabotage. He tried to get me fired. And he said some terrible things about me that, I mean, it would have destroyed my career in America. He was saying stuff that I was doing to children, things like terrible things. Not true. Of course, they didn't say anything to me because they didn't believe it, but they did have to investigate. So they went to the kids and the parents, and the kids were like, "What are you talking about?" You know. Luckily, these kids were old enough to talk. They weren't babies or anything. They're like, "No, that's insane. No." And so it was a quick investigation. Like took a couple, it was like a few hours, and they were done. It's like we didn't think so, and they didn't fire the guy though, and I didn't know about it. I was totally clueless to the whole thing that was going on behind my back the whole time, until that guy that was a jackass was leaving, and he wanted to cause some. He did not. He wanted that place to miss him. So he tells me, "Oh, by the way, so and so said you were touching children inappropriately in the classrooms. Yeah, thought you'd like to know." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" "Yeah, we did an investigation. You didn't know about it because we knew he wasn't telling the truth, but we had to investigate anyways. But we didn't want you to know. We didn't want you to upset you. But I'm telling you now because I think it's okay to tell you now." And he was just trying to cause trouble and stuff. Turns out, I got really pissed. We got in a big fight. We didn't get along very well while we were working there. That guy didn't work out. He got pissed off at the company and he left. He left just quit on the spot, and I had to cover all of his shifts. And I was taking the train out to other prefectures, like hour and a half, 2-hour trips out to their places, working late at night because I had to cover his shifts and my shifts. It was crazy. It was a really rough few months until I could find a replacement. And then I ran into him like a year later, and he was really hurting. He was in a bad condition. And I took him in. I helped him out. I fed him. He was in bad shape. His wife left him, basically, or he left his wife. It was a bad situation. He was in bad shape. And I took him in. I took care of him. I helped him out. And we became friends again. I forgave him. He even apologized, and he told me the whole story. It's like how the other guy was encouraging him to mention something about it. It turned out the other guy, the Boston guy wasn't innocent. He wasn't an innocent bystander in the situation. He did make the claim, but the other guy was telling him to do it, kind of thing. They were kind of working on cohorts. They wanted to get rid of me. What happened was that guy, the boss guy, which I told you was a jerk from the beginning. I said I hated working with that guy. He was trying to destroy the English department when he left, so they would just be in chaos when he left. He was trying to do that, but I could take care of myself, and I kept the place going. And so I stayed there for a few years, and then I finally left because it was hard work. And but I took him in. I befriended him, and I took care of him when he was down on his luck, and we're still friends to this day. We have our moments, but for the most part, we're still friends to this day. I can forgive, I can forget, and that's the kind of guy I am. That's my personality. It's always been that way. Even when people do some terrible stuff to me, I can overlook it eventually, especially if they apologize, It's just the way I am. Any other country, it would have destroyed me. But luckily, these people, they knew me better than that, and they trusted me better than that, and so they didn't take him so seriously, and they investigated behind my back. I didn't like that. I wish they would have told me what was going on, but they didn't want me to get upset with that guy, I guess. And so they investigated behind my back, and it took only a few minutes, basically. And the kids that were supposedly the ones that were victims, they were like, "Are you kidding? No, it's ridiculous." So luckily, fudge. Sorry, guys. Anyways, yeah, it was crazy. Who's that? Oh, MRDSN 189. Been a while. How you doing? Happy New Year. It's January 1st over here, 2023. Woo! We're a little bit ahead of you guys. Happy New Year's, buddy. Nice to see you. I was just talking about stuff. I'm having a hard time right now, and I was just talking about how I wish people could just be kinder to people around them, on a regular basis. I just wish people weren't always just trying to look out for numero uno, number one, just looking out for themselves all the time and looking out, why can't you, the other guy? The other guy has a story too, the other person out there, the one that cut you off and pissed you off, there could be a story behind that situation. They could be, having a bad day of their own, or they're in emergency. They have to, you don't know the story. And I just wish people could be kinder to each other and not always just looking out for themselves all the time. If everybody did that, it would be a lot different place. And I try to live my life like that. I try to live my life like I do. I always put myself out there for other people. And to the point where my wife was always angry with me. Always angry with me. She was angry with me when I helped out that guy that said those terrible things about me, trying to get me fired. She didn't like it when she doesn't like it when these parents will come with a sob story, and I'll cut my tuition for them in half until they get back on their feet and stuff. I do that kind of stuff, and it drives her crazy. But that's just the way I feel. I feel like that's how the world should be. And if I believe that, then I need to practice it too, not tell other people to do it and not do it myself. And that's what I do. So, yeah, that's what I was talking about. So I've been having a hard time. It's just, like I said, these people on this app, they just bum rushed me kind of. They've just piled on and just pretty much made me feel like, how dare you point out that our prices are high? Don't you understand? We just want to sell our product. We don't we're not trying to be mean. It's just they're like trying to say that we should feel sorry for them for charging such high rates on their product. I'm not gonna do that. My point is there are people that can afford your stuff. Like the guy even said, he's like, I have no problem. He's like, funny you say my prices are high. I have no problem selling the stuff. I sell out every year. Well, okay. So why are you getting offended by me? I'm saying I can't afford your product, dude. I wasn't being a jerk, but this is what I wanted to talk about from the very beginning. Was I wrong? Maybe I am. Am I really that much of a jackass do I deserve the kind of the crap they piled onto me with and bullied me with, kind of trying to get me out of that area, out of that chat? Did I deserve that for pointing out that, man, those prices are higher than I expected? I don't know. I even said, it's like, you can charge what you want. I mean, I'm not telling you to charge. I don't mean to step on toes. I was trying to be as polite as possible. I understood I was probably being a little strong with the guy. I'm sorry you're having a rough time. Well, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. I am having a hard time, but it's just my Asperger's. I'm so socially inept sometimes, and it depresses me because it keeps me alienated. Like I was trying to say earlier, I did that social sexual hierarchy thing, online test, and it tells you what position you are in the hierarchy. It goes alpha is number 1, Bravo is the number 2 guy, Delta, Gamma, what's the last guy? There's another guy. There's actually 2 more, but I can't. I'm just trying to work on the last guy. I feel like with my condition, I'm a Delta, but I also have tendencies for Gamma. Those kind of show up. It's not on purpose, just my condition. And it kind of, because of my condition, it forces me to be in that position. I can't even think of the name right now, where you're by yourself. You're a loner. You don't want to be around other people, and that's how I feel. I always piss people off. I don't mean to, but my candidness and my straightforwardness always piss people off. I upset people. They don't take it right. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just speaking my mind. I say it the way I see it. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but they don't see it that way. They think I'm trying to cause trouble for them, and I got piled on, and that community. I thought finally I found a community that I could fit in with. I thought it was a great community, just homesteaders doing their thing and stuff, and I got piled on. I was like, realized that this isn't for me either. So now I'm all alone again, and I hate it. Yes, thank you, Omega. I'm not really Omega. When I took the test, I actually said I was a Bravo, which I laughed because I was bullied so bad because of my condition from 4th grade until senior in high school. I was bullied on a daily basis, bad, especially when I was 4th grade. We moved to a new city, and I had to go into a new school. In the school was upper echelon kids, wealthier kids. It was next to Emerald Hills. They called the housing area there, where all the big, gigantic houses for the dentists and lawyers and doctors and stuff. It was called Emerald Hills. I mean, unbelievable, just pathetic name. It is what it is. And the kids were all spoiled little brats. And of course, the alpha cliques were always those little, the most popular kids, the alpha, because they're the alphas, even in that age group. They were just relentless with me. But it went through junior high and high school to the point where my mom, when I got to junior, I don't know. Yeah. When I was in junior high, I was put into Taekwondo. That's when I started studying martial arts. She was tired of seeing me get my butt kicked. I would stand up for myself. At first, I didn't. And I would get hurt every day during recess. They would just beat the crap out of me. They thought it was so funny to surround me and just kick me as hard as they could in the balls. They loved doing that. I just got every day. They thought it was so hilarious. And finally it forced me to finally start. It's not my personality, but I finally started. It wasn't. It is now. but it wasn't. That was not the kind of person I wanted to be. But I was tired of getting hurt, and it was painful, and it was upsetting, of course, obviously. So I started fighting back, but I still got my butt kicked. So she got me to Taekwondo, and that helped a lot when I was in high school, junior high and high school. I was able to defend myself better. And it usually took just one. Like one time we were playing, I think, baseball in PE, and this jock, I slid for a base, and I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I guess you don't slide for first. I didn't know. I'm not a jock. So I'm sliding for first because I didn't want to get out. I'm tired of getting out. I couldn't hit the ball very far. I didn't want to get out. So I slid for first, and he stepped on my head on purpose. He jumped on my head on purpose. And he started laughing. He said, you effing moron. Don't you know you don't slide for first? Something like that. And I jumped up, and I did a jump spinning kick, hit him in the face, crossed the face, and I was in my stance, and I was ready to go. And he just was in shock. Because I'm sure it stung. Because I was using I was light. I was very light back then. I weighed 114 pounds, lanky and skinny, but I was all muscle. I had the highest strength to weight ratio in the PE class. So it was all muscle because all the martial arts I did 3 classes a day most of the time, every day. I loved Taekwondo. I just loved it. I lived it. So I had a 6-pack. I was just cut, but I was skinny too at the same time, really skinny. But even that, with my powerful legs, doing that spinning kick, he must have felt it because he was in shock, and he tried to do it, and I wasn't backing up. I was like, let's go, Bo, let's go, come on. And I remember seeing the coach, he was giggling on the side because he saw the whole thing, and he was shocked that what I did with this bully. And so he said, no, let's go, time's up, let's go, hit the showers. And the coach kind of pat me on my back when I was walking by, kind of saying, good for you for standing up for yourself. Anyways, but that works. I usually didn't have to do anything else. After that, they left me alone. They realized, oh, okay, this guy, he can take care of himself. So it helped a lot. The Taekwondo did help a lot. But yeah, I am forced into Omega because of my condition. I feel like I'd really be a Delta if I could get along with people better. I'd just be a really good Delta. Delta's a hard worker person. They just care about their craft the most, and that's definitely me. Like I said, because of my condition, I come off as a Gamma sometimes, but I'm not. As a matter of fact, the test said I was a Bravo, which is hilarious because I can't stand alphas anymore because of all the bullying I got when I was all the way through school. And it was always the alpha males, always the sports, always the jocks, always the most popular boys in the class. They were always picking on me, and I got sick of it. So I can't be a Bravo. So anyways, I'm sorry to go dark. Anyways, I want to know, since I got some of you guys out there now, I don't know how many people are watching, but MSDRN, what do you think? What's your prediction for 2023? I said, on a large scale, isn't going to be much better than last year. I don't know. I can't go personal, for people personally, but Asia is not going to change much. We probably have another 2 years of these mask mandates and the lockdowns and stuff that China's doing and Japan's doing. As well as I think things are going to heat up with the Ukraine-Russia BS going on. So we got that crap to deal with. And so I'll be right back. Oh, okay. Well, anybody else out there? Let me know what you think is going to happen for 2023. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's going to be a stellar year. Maybe Bitcoin can bounce back. Who knows? Tell me what you think. Let me know. Or tell me what your resolutions are. My resolution is to be a better man. Be even better than I was last year. I'm constantly trying to improve myself because of my condition. I don't like making people angry and hate me. I don't like that. I want to have friends. But I guess it's not possible. I have some... also Jim puts up with my crap pretty good. He also knew me from this program. I always tell you guys, what you see is what you get. I'm not a different personality off camera. I'm the same person. The person here is the person off camera. So he already kind of knew me. So when we started meeting up over here, when he moved over here, we got along pretty good. He puts up with my crap pretty good, and so he hasn't gotten offended yet. Hopefully, and Alain Pierre I consider a friend, but he's way over in France, and most of the time he can't make it over here. So anyways, so yeah, my resolution is to even work on myself even more so I don't torque off people. Maybe I can't do white lie. I don't believe in that stuff, but maybe just keep my mouth shut more. Maybe don't make a comment in the comment section. But but at the same time, I'm kind of glad I did what I did, because it kind of showed me what these people are like, and I felt like, yeah, not for me. No resolution for me. I never keep them. Well, thanks, Alain Pierre, for sharing. Good point. I try not to make impossible resolutions. I really don't. Sometimes, like a lot of people, the most popular ones, I'm going to lose this much weight by this time. That's a really hard resolution to fulfill. Wintertime, we collect weight. We're not, our bodies are not meant to lose weight in the wintertime. It's a natural thing to collect weight in the wintertime. So to give yourself, like, by bathing suit season, I want to be this much weight. That's really hard to fulfill. And just, you go to that sports club the first few times, and you realize real quick it's not for you. I hate sports clubs. You got the guys that are constantly just like checking themselves out in the mirrors, just admiring themselves and laughing at you when you're working out and stuff. And then you got the women just want everybody to look at their butts. It's just like, okay, great, this is fun. No, it's not. So I try to keep my resolutions simple. Anybody else out there? Anybody? Or be right back, guys. MRDSN is not back yet, I guess. So, anyways, yeah. I want to show you that, guys. I want to show you guys that video. I'll show you. I tell you what. While we're waiting for MRDSN to come back, I can show you. I made a Christmas video, and I put up on that app that I used to like, that community I used to like. I made it for them, but nobody cared about it anyway. So I will show it to you guys, and you guys can watch that while we wait for MRDSN to come back with his answer. And then I'll sign off, I guess. I would show you the Owen video, but it's really long, and I'm tired. And yeah, like I said, it's only going to make people angry, especially if you're a Catholic. He used to be a Catholic, and he had some bad experiences when he was young, and so now he has a very negative opinion of the Catholic Church. And he goes off on this guy that wrote him a letter. He's a comedian. And did I mention his name? Shoot, I'm not supposed to mention his name because it'll get barred. He's that toxic and out there. He's the most banned comedian out there. But he is pretty funny. Anyways, let me show you my video. Let's see. Okay. Even though in Japan they don't really celebrate Christmas, what they have for dinner is Kentucky Fried Chicken, we can still do it. We can make our own. You check it out. So far, this is what we got going so far.
Oh my gosh.
Duck. No, wait, that's roast beef. Salad, duck. What they call shine mascots. And that's where the chicken's gonna be. I'm roasting the chickens in the oven right now. Mashed potatoes. What else is there? What goes there? I don't even know. But we have tons of stuff. I'm very excited. So we're gonna have a really good Christmas dinner. To the best of our ability. I mean, we don't really celebrate Christmas like we used to. As you can tell, there's no decorations around really. But we're gonna give thanks. We're gonna give thanks to the Lord for all this wonderful stuff, and especially where things are right now in crazy world over here. And we're still able to make all this wonderful food. Ham, and that's what's going on our plate. Ham. We got so much stuff coming up. Ham, roast chicken, duck, roast beef. Yeah, it's crazy. Plus a cake. We're making a cake right now. And yeah, I was just really excited. That's it. That's one big chicken, one big bird. Japanese bird too, so local, so should be okay, hopefully. And I carved it already. But still, probably a lot of meat left on the cutting board over there. Got the gravy almost done. Mashed potatoes in the warmer. We are looking good. What a nice Christmas dinner with a nice salad, 2 different salads. One's duck, one's roast beef. Nice. Dinner rolls and the cake. Where's the cake, guys? I want to see the cake. Can you pull it out, show it real quick? I want to see that cake. Beautiful cake. My daughter made this cake with my my wife's help, her mom's help. There. Look at that. Homemade cake. How many layers is that? A 3-layer?
3.
3-layer cake. Nice. Okay, looks good. I can't wait. Where is everybody? My son's not home yet. We're gonna have to eat without him, maybe.
Can you open a sparkle now?
Sure thing. Yes.
Here we go. This maybe mashed potato もあるからね。あれ？よし。
Alright. Finish eating. I am full. And this is the aftermath. I gotta do dishes now. Well, I hope you all have a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, whatever you want to call it. I hope you all have a good one. And let's hope for a better next year. All right. Let me turn this off. Test 1, test 2. Okay, you can hear me. So thank you, Emma RDSN. My daughter tried really hard on it. It was delicious. It was really good. Oh, that was so good. And thank you, Elaine Pierre. Sorry about that. I predict I will be completely unable to predict what will happen this year. Yeah, I mean it's a tough one. This last year was pretty rough, but I think we're not, at least Asia. Jeez, I hate everything's backwards. Asia is still we're still doing the crap that you haven't had to worry about for quite a few months now. We're still deep in it, and there's no end in sight. Probably another 2 years of it. So yeah, and I'm sorry to hear about your friend in the Ukraine. I hope she does get out. Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's why I want that stupid thing to stop. I want it to stop soon between Ukraine and Russia, and it makes me sick when I think about, our government officials, our people from Washington, McCain back in 2016. McCain and some other guy goes over there and is like, he's egging him on to go to war and stuff, and it's like, I hate it. I hate that my government gets involved in stuff like that. It's strictly for power and for more resources, and it makes me sick to my stomach, and I hope we can get past that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the stream. It was long. Happy New Year again, guys, and I hope I'm from the future, so I can tell you right now, it's gonna be a great New Year's. You're gonna have a great New Year's. It'll be great. It's gonna be awesome for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. You have no reason not to. So yeah, thanks for listening to me rant a little bit, and I needed that, and yeah, I never got an answer. Did you guys think, am I a jackass? Was I being a jerk to those people when I made that comment about their product being a little expensive? Probably. I was probably being a bit of a jackass. But I don't know if I really deserved for what I said, or if I deserved what I got. Thanks, buddy. Happy New Year to you. That's from MRDSN. It was great to chat even a little, James. I wish you the best for 2023. Yeah, and I wish you the best for 2023. And hopefully maybe you can come over. Japan's still kind of weird. Asia's acting weird still, so. But hopefully things will get better and you can come over. I hope. But yeah. Okay, well, I will let you all go. It's been a lot of fun. I miss doing this. And I hope you like my new setup. I think this camera is amazing. And this microphone, I think it's doing a pretty good job. So I'll let you go. And you guys have a great New Year's on your own. And I will see you when I see you in the future. Hopefully soon. All right. Bye, guys.